Well, this is John Black, Super Chemist, Part 2 of the biggest trick of gender theory that's unknown to everybody apparently. In the last video, I was talking about how the biggest trick has a couple lies. The first lie is women cannot handle a job like a man. Okay, working 40 hours a week for their entire life, they cannot handle it. Okay, it's a lie that they can. Okay, they cannot do it. The data says otherwise, okay? But another lie is that, see, a man in a marriage, right, has to be a man, okay? This lie, everything you've been taught about men and women is a lie, okay? Man does not force a woman to be submissive, okay? That has never happened, okay? Never, okay? What happens is the woman forces the man to be dominant, okay? It's not us doing the forcing. It's them doing the forcing, okay? And you can do it. You can go up to the most alpha, manly woman on the planet, right, and say, do you want a man who's a leader? Yep, I can't accept anything that isn't a leader. Every woman wants a leader. By definition, that makes you a follower, you idiot, okay? Presidents don't look for other presidents. They look for followers to follow them into the voting booth. Same with a general. General doesn't look for other generals. He looks for people to follow him into war, into battle, okay? They cannot accept anything other than a leader. They can't accept it. They tell us with their own words. Even the most alpha woman, I cannot take a man who is not a leader. I will not. They cannot respect anyone who is. They can't respect a husband or a man that is not in his place. Okay, which is the leader, the dominant. Okay. So this lie that we don't have to be in our place. Okay. And that men only want the woman to be in their place. No, we want you to be in your place, but we want us to be in our place. So that we're both in our place so the marriage actually works, okay? The marriage does not work if you don't have that dynamic, okay? It's a fact. And why? Because the woman will not respect the man who isn't in his place. It's that simple. That's a fact, okay? So I want you to notice, I'm going to go into this family now, okay? This non-binary family that doesn't even know they're non-binary. They think they're normal, but they're not. I want you to notice the two things we said, these non-binaries. You always see they can't handle any stress. None. And what's the other thing that they do? They can't handle stress. Oh, and they twist everything around that you say or they hear so that they're the victim. You know what I mean? Oh, he's the victim, okay. Now, how do they get people to be non-binary? Single mothers. That's how they do it. See, a single mother doesn't raise a man and a woman. They raise a non-binary. When the boy is direct and honest, they demonize it because that's man. How can you demonize honest and direct? I don't get that. They demonize it, right? And if a girl is, trying to be a girl, wants to be a housewife, they're like, you can be a worker. Don't trust a man. You can't trust no man. You got to have a job because he'll screw you, stab you in the back. So I want you to see, single mothers bring up these non-binary children, even though they don't realize it, right? And you might say, oh, that's bull, blah, blah, blah. Why do they act like non-binary people then? Why are they nut jobs that can't handle any kind of stress? They're always victims. They're always changing anything you say to them into you're oppressing them. You know what I mean? So let's look at this man's thing. We'll call him Daniel, okay? And we'll call his wife Joy. Let's look at Daniel's, lineage, right? We'll go up to his great-great-grandmother, okay? Now, the great-grandmothers I don't know much about, so I can't really say anything about them, right? But the great-great-grandmother on Daniel's side, right? Single mother. She had a kid, which would be his great-grandmother, also single mother. Now, this great-grandmother had a kid, which would be his grandmother. Another single mother. Wow. You notice a little trend there so far already? Let's take a look at the grandmother. 3 baby daddies, 3 marriages. Wow. Okay, now that single mother that didn't have a family, she had 7 children, right? Let's see what those 7 children are. Let's see. The oldest one, a mother, single mother, 3 marriages, basket case, drug addict. And I want you to keep in mind, all these kids, these 7 kids, they all hate men and they hate kids. Okay. And what's funny is like the one girl had a kid 10 years after the first kid, right? And I was like, why are you having a second kid? You always say you hate kids. Oh yeah, but I want a kid. We all hate kids, but we have them for some reason, okay? But we've been brainwashed, or they've been brainwashed. So anyways, first daughter, single mom, 3 marriages, basket case, can't handle any kind, no stress whatsoever, can't handle anything. Drug addict, is living with a man that she doesn't even have sex with, or not even boyfriend or girlfriend. She gives him nothing, but she takes, free rent, free this, free that, right? She can't handle anything. She'd probably be homeless if this guy wasn't in his life. All right. Second daughter of the grandmother, single mom, 2 baby daddies, basket case, can't handle anything again, can't handle, and they always twist and turn, hate kids, hate men, pregnant at 15 years old. The next one, 3 marriages, no kids, basket case, drug addict, can't handle anything in life. The littlest thing, they go off. The next one, girl again, 2 marriages, 1 kid who was taken off of her, and that's hard to do, take a kid off of a woman. Drug addict. Now this one actually, she can handle life. I don't see her stressing over every little thing like crazy. She doesn't act like a woke, that woke person that can't handle anything and blah, blah, blah. But she hates men. Same. Other than that, she's the same. Now we get into the boys, right? We got the oldest one, never married, 3 kids. None of the kids are his. Maybe one of his kids are actually biologically his. Drug addict, never worked, always in the nut house. Not the real nut house, but that first one where you stay for a week or two. Total basket case. Loses, he's writing something, sets down the pen. He can't see the pen for 2 seconds. He's freaking out. Had 3, or let's go into the other ones. Wait. He had 3 kids. Let's do his 3 kids. The first kid dead before age 30 because of drugs. 1 baby mama, never married. Next one, about 30 years old, lived with his grandma until the grandma died a couple years ago. He has 1 baby mama, never married. The 30-year-old, another 30-year-old say, he's a golden boy though. A golden boy is a person that just does everything right. They can be in the ghetto with a crackhead mother and a crackhead dad, and they still turn out, they have a good job and get out of the ghetto, and they have a rich life, and you know what I mean? That's a golden boy. They just do everything right no matter what. So he's a golden boy. So he did get married. Never had kids, never wants to have kids. Okay? He does have a good job and, good financially or whatever. Keep in mind, all these people, they're not really financially smart. All right? Now the second man in this thing, never married, no kids, drug addict, total basket case. Not as much because of the gender thing. He has another thing where he's like he has no conscience. So he's got mental problems that are different than the other. Because these other ones, they can't handle any stress, you know what I mean? That's why they're basket cases. Now the last boy, he's married twice, 2 baby mamas. He changes his job all the time, but not because he usually gets a better job, you know what I mean? But all the boys are feminized, all the women are masculinized, all the women are doing better financially than the men, all the men are emotional, they're all basket cases though, you know what I mean? Now let's go, so we started out with Daniel, right, and his wife Joy. His mother was the second woman I mentioned, which was a single mom, 2 baby daddies, basket case, 15-year-old pregnancy. You know what I mean? She had 2 kids. One was a girl and one was a boy. Let's go over the girl first, right? Financially, she's doing good. She's responsible, house, all this kind of stuff. Boyfriend after boyfriend, she picks loser after loser. If someone's normal, she ain't gonna pick them. You know what I mean? Tattoos all over, sleeves, all over her body. She hates herself so much. She thinks that a arbitrary picture drawn by a crackhead tattooist artist who's a man draws graffiti is better looking than her female skin, because females are just horrible. That's how low her self-esteem is. She's never going to have a man, okay? Because who's going to accept a woman who has sleeves tattoos all over the body? That alone, no normal man is going to want that, okay? They know you're non-binary, you're too masculine, and you're probably slutty, okay? No kids, 5 dogs. 5 dogs. Yeah, these are all cat ladies. And I forgot to go over. I think I forgot to go over the one daughter's kid, the one that was single mom, 3 marriages, basket case, drug addict. She had one girl who's a single mom, 3 marriages, 4 baby daddies, 5 kids, basket case. Okay, so let's get back to the other one though. So this one woman gave birth to a girl and a boy. We did the girl. Now the other one, the boy, Daniel, and Joy is who he married. Daniel is another golden boy. He does everything right. He's rich. He's perfect. You know what I mean? But he's been feminized because he had a single mother that feminized him, right? So even though he makes $150,000, and I don't have exact numbers. Even though he makes $150,000 a year, his wife makes about $40,000 a year, so nothing, pennies. Instead of him being a man, because he wasn't taught to be a man, he was taught to be a non-binary. Instead of him being a man and saying, hey, I make $150,000, stop putting your job that makes us pennies and ignoring our children and not caring about our children, so that you can go, stop doing that and just be a mom, okay, and a wife. He didn't do that. He wasn't a man, okay? And see, he can do that. Men are pretty versatile. Women are not, okay? This woman, Joy, has been miserable. The kids admit it. The husband admits it. Daniel, everyone knows that she is a miserable person because she doesn't want to work. But she's been brainwashed to think that a woman is not good enough. You have to be somewhere in between. Not a woman, not a man. A woman who works. So she can't quit her job, and he won't man up and do the right thing and say, hey, quit your job, you dumb bitch, you're miserable, you're making us all miserable, stop it. Be a woman, a woman is great. A non-binary woman is a piece of garbage, okay? He can't say that. But he can accept her being miserable, men can accept anything pretty much from a woman almost. But a woman, this is the thing, this is the trick. A woman cannot, under any circumstances, handle this or accept that he isn't being a man, okay? And instead of her saying, I could just quit my job, no, she will internalize it and say, he is supposed to be a man and tell me to quit my job, and he isn't doing it, okay? Now, her conscience is not going to say that. Her conscience is just going to say, I'm unhappy, he's making me unhappy. She won't know why. But the real reason is because she cannot handle being in a non-binary relationship. She needs the man to be in the man's place. And he is not being in his place, because if he was, he would say, hey, bitch, stop freaking working. It's making everyone miserable. But that isn't happening, okay? So his life is destroyed, okay? And as soon as their last kid, which is pretty soon, graduates and goes off to college, they have about 5 years before that woman cheats and leaves him, or she just leaves him because she is so unhappy working and she doesn't have the ability to quit, and he is not a man, okay? He's better than me. I'm not putting him down. I wish I was him, okay? He's a god compared to me. But in this one aspect, he's not being a man. She can't handle it. She's going to blame him and punish him for it. That's for sure. That's for sure. And then they got 3 kids, 3 little girls. All of them, 2 of them hate men. They don't want to get married. One of them is living with some guy that you can tell they're all going to be serial divorcees. Is what they're going to.